Hello everybody, this is discussion 3, and our topic today is addressing an audience influencing, how addressing your audience influences your decision and putting your speech together. I feel like before you even get to address your audience, the first thing you should do is find out who your audience is. That's the most important part of putting your speech together, knowing who you're going to speak to, knowing what their opinions are, some of what their beliefs are, and you want to know their age group and if this topic that you're speaking about actually relates to them. Because when you're addressing your audience with your speech, you want to be able to address them with a carefully researched speech, and you want to be able to address and engage them so then that way they feel like they've just walked away from your speech knowing something new or feeling like they've just learned something. And I think that's part of the literal speech and the rhetorical speech. Rhetorical is when you've made them convinced into what you're talking about or what your speech is. You've convinced them into believing what you've just spoken. So it's important that when you're picking the people that you're discussing your topics with, that you're able to influence their beliefs on whatever they have already understood about certain topics. You don't want to go into speaking to a group of, let's say, 50 to 60-year-olds about music that has came out in 2018. But then as well, you don't want to discriminate against anybody. So it's kind of tricky on how you pick certain topics that you speak about. Doing a lot of research on the area and the people, you know, if you're able to do the background on like who's actually invited, are they coming from a hospital, because then you know your work area, then you'd be able to base your topic off of where they work at and like the area that they live in. If you know, if the area they live in is revolving around something, problems with the water or garbage and things like that, you would be able to address them not individually, but as a group. But when you're speaking, you want to make them feel like you're directly speaking to them and you guys are communicating and engaging in the conversation together. When you discuss in your topics with your audience, it's a different way that you engage them. It's not the same as when you engage your friends or your family members. You want to be able to sort of kind of build that type of relationship with your audience, but then you still keep it at a distance because you have your opinions on what you believe and what you're speaking about. But you also want your audience to be able to engage in what they believe and engage in a discussion with you. So if you're trying to convince them about what your topic is and you want them to understand why you're speaking, understand what you're speaking about, then that would be the most important thing, is to find out basically who you're speaking to, doing your research, because you want to be able to speak open and honest with them. You want to be able to be confident in what you're saying and speaking to them. You don't want your audience to walk away feeling like they've just wasted their time sitting in your group. Whatever your topic was didn't relate to them. You want them to be able to walk away learning something new and feeling confident in whatever you've just told them. And you want to feel confident as well within yourself that you were able to help somebody out based off of whatever your discussion was. So I think that's kind of what I got from reading chapter 3. And thank you, everybody. Hope you enjoy my video.